What is normal in your country but seems weird to the rest of the world? Being middle class with a property having a 6-foot wall, electric fencing linked to an alarm, automated gate and garage doors with security clamps over the gate motor to prevent theft of the motor, security gates over every door, burglar bars, and a house alarm system with infrared sensors linked to armed response with a reaction time of under 3 to 4 minutes. South Africa? Yep. Everyone rags on the US for using imperial. But can we talk for a second about how weird we are here in the UK for using both inconsistently? You buy a pint of milk or beer, but a litre of Coke and 25 millilitres of whiskey. People know how many miles to the gallon their cars get, but you buy fuel at pence per litre. You watch the weather forecast and the temperature is in Celsius but the wind speed is in miles per hour. Most people can tell you their weight in kilograms, and their height in feet, and if they can't give you kilograms they can probably give you stone instead, which is even older than pounds, which nobody uses as a unit of measurement, probably because of the confusion between pounds and pound. It's a glorious mess. Canada has this same problem. Distance is measured in metric but height and weight is in imperial. There are lots of other cases. In my friend's country, Easter is when gangs of boys roam the countryside, pouring water over girls and beating them gently with sticks. The girls then have to thank them for it. I thought that was pretty weird. Edit, she's from Slovakia. Girls on cold, spring morning in wet t-shirts? Yes, this still happens, for obvious reasons. The beating, not so much. At least not outside staged anthropology museum shows. Anyway, I hated when my grandpa would sprinkle us on the Easter Monday with some cologne. That smelled horrible. In the spirit of the tradition. Hated it so much. Now, him being gone for years, I look fondly on the memory. Leaving your baby alone outside for their nap, even if it rains or snows. Sparta, Norway, but it's common in all of Scandinavia. That's how we create Vikings. Edit, yes, this applies to all of the Nordic countries. York, Minnesota, Ireland and Russia according to the comments. Also, rip inbox. We have matrimonial ads in newspapers and sites to find grooms and brides, which I think don't happen in Western countries and they find it strange. The ads are mostly published by parents. It's like Tinder supervised by parents. In university we thump the tables to applaud our professors, instead of actually applauding, or doing nothing. During my exchange semester everyone not from Germany was looking at me confused why I did this. A short while ago they stopped selling alcohol after 10 p.m. At some stores you couldn't even get non-alcoholic beer. What's weird though is that wine is not considered alcoholic drink, so you can buy it anytime. Welcome to Moldova, winking face. Wow, such gold. Much thanks. Whole restaurants cheering when a plate or glass is smashed. UK. Once was in a Canadian bar, restaurant on holiday and a waiter dropped a tray of glasses. The local looked horrified when I was out of my seat screaming, WHEYYYYYY. Edit, definitely seems more of a European thing than Canadian and American. Being left off of maps. Kiwi A? Strangers sitting totally naked skin to skin in a steamy room heated to +80 to +100 C. And as having competitions on who can last the longest in there. I miss Finland. Red heart. Drinking beer before 12 o'clock and seeing it as part of the culture. UK too. No judgment. Putting cable ties, branches, fake eyes etc. on helmets. Buckets and hats in springtime to scare away the birds. Magpies are vicious bastards. Putting broken glass bottles on the walls around your house so burglars can't jump it and rob you. I moved to Canada and they don't even have walls around the houses. Tax not included in advertised price. The cracks that are just wide enough to be able to see in and out of public restroom stalls. United States, I've heard it's thought of as weird since many other countries enjoy the luxury of privacy. Men holding hands in public as a display of friendship is normal in Afghanistan but super weird in the West. Bagged milk. I know it's normal in some places but not here in the UK. I'm from the USA and my girlfriend is from Singapore. The amount of pumpkin sheep we consume practically frightens her. Unsuccessfully helping your dad look for one of his missing thongs and then watching him squeeze into one of your mums so he can go out into the backyard and get the laundry. I'm told the rest of you, incorrectly, call them flip-flops. Cheese curds and gravy over fries. Canada isn't real. A magical land covered in Christmas where everyone is nice and syrup literally falls from the trees. Like that's a real place. Nobody eats cheese curds, fries and gravy. Calling mixed race people coloreds. I'm from South Africa and I'm colored, but when I went on holiday in Spain, Colored is a derogatory term, but in South Africa it's completely normal. Marrying someone without knowing them and only seeing their face once the marriage is agreed on. Washing your butthole after taking a crap. Eating with our hands. In 1969, the same year the man landed on the moon, Miss Gloria Diaz coveted the Philippines' first Miss Universe crown. During the preliminary candor, she was asked, "Is it true that you Filipinos use your hand when you eat?" To which she replied, "Why? Do you use your feet?" and went her way to winning the crown. Edit, removed misleading link. Edit 2, shout out to Indian commenters who eat with their hands. 2. And people from other Southeast Asian countries and the Middle East. Our wildlife is not trying to heal us. Edit, magpies accepted. Having a garbage can in the bathroom for used toilet paper. In my country you bike everywhere. Cars aren't used much. For longer distances you mostly use train and public transport. Also being 6 foot is normal. Calling them all chips, not crisps, hot chips or anything else. Just chips. Except you wedges you can have a different name. Edit, sometimes at Macca's or Hungry Jack's and other fast food places call them fries but duck of fast food they're chips. Vegemite. Sprinkles on buttered bread is made by fairies and is perfect for kids' parties. And anything negative said about said treat is sacrilegious. Golden gay time. Legal drinking age of beer and wine is 16. If you work in an office here in Germany and open 2 windows to get a cool draft, a coworker will close them angrily in the next few minutes, yelling angrily, "Es sehr." A lot of Germans wrongly believe that a draft will give them all kind of sicknesses from a stiff neck to a common cold. There is of course no scientific proof that a draft is harmful. Cunt is a term of endearment. Calling a traffic light a robot. Putting chips in our burgers. Edit, I'm referring to the British version, fries in America but fatter. I don't know why but teenagers from my place, Vietnam, like to put hot sauce on everything. Like pizzas, chips, French fries, spaghetti, rice, cakes, hamburgers, anything you can think of. Deep fried Mars bar. Edit, I'm from New Zealand. For those asking, these are usually sold in fish and chip shops. Eating biscuits and gravy. I travelled to the UK and told them that biscuits and gravy is a very common breakfast food, and as you would expect they were highly confused. Biscuit equals cookie across the pond, why we would take something sweet and cover it in gravy. And also was confused that the gravy we use has sausage in it and is white. Pharmaceutical commercials. Men wear skirts even when it's pouring outside. Which is all the time. Blood pudding and fermented fish. Direct democracy in Switzerland. It often baffles me when I read what the government can pull off in other countries without ever involving the population. Like, yay, you get to elect representatives, but it often seems to me that those people then elect someone who elects someone who elects someone. Is it really still democracy if you're about 5 steps removed from the actual decisions? Edit, I just realized that the reason why so many people made a point about the US being a republic despite me not mentioning it was probably my last part. Even though I was primarily thinking about Germany when writing it. The lady doth protest too much. Methinks. Where I'm from the answer is gums. Lots of gums. You shoot gums at 9 years old with your buddy at an old washing machine. They are a way of life. And I suppose death for a lot of people. I understand why people support owning gums. They grew up with them and see them as normal. You tell people from other countries about shooting gums at 9 and they look at you funny. Taxes. We have this weird system where the government really kind of knows what we should pay. But they offer us an opportunity to guess and maybe pay the right thing. But if we don't pay the right thing, we get penalized. I remember listening to a podcast where people all over the world were super confused about how the US does taxes. Most other places the government sends you a bill, and you pay it, and you're done. Edit, if you want to be really disgusted with the whole process. Check out Reply All episode 144.